Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is having some fun at the expense of him getting wrecked by Carson Hocevar during the NASCAR Cup Series race at Nashville over the weekend. He provided some clarity as to why it would cost too much money to confront Hocevar immediately following the race. Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. And so Stenhouse obviously made it clear he was not happy with Hocevar after Hocevar dumped him during the second stage of the Cup Series race at Nashville. Hocevar got into the left rear of Stenhouse and sent him into the wall. Here is the in-car camera from Hocevar. You can see Stenhouse right there in front of him. So you can see just gets right there into the left rear, sends Stenhouse around. Hocevar does. And so at the after Stenhouse exited the infield care center, he was asked if he wanted to have a conversation with Hocevar, and he said, "Oh, I will." Then when asked if it would be after the race, he replied, "No, that costs too much money." Obviously, the implication being that he was fined at the All-Star race after he got into that fight with Kyle Busch, after Busch dumped him during the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro last year. And now he has provided some commentary as to why he was saying it would be too expensive. And this is pretty funny here. Let's take a listen.
Point, I believe he asked if you were planning on confronting Carson after the race. Obviously, people in their head thinking about the All-Star race last year.
Yeah.
And you had said something to the effect of that's too expensive, which made people think of the fine after the All-Star last year. So with
it's not going to be for reconstruction of my face.
So there you go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has jokes, making some jokes, indicating that he is still going to potentially confront Carson Hocevar and obviously give him a couple fists to his face. So that is what he had to say there. He did go on to reveal that he had not spoken to Hocevar. He says no. So, I mean, obviously, I've been in the sport a long time. If you make a mistake like that, you generally pick up the phone as quick as you can, especially if you feel bad about it. If you don't, you just roll on with it. No, I've not got a call from him. I've talked to his owner. Jeff Dickerson and I are super tight. He then reiterated again, no, I haven't got a call from him. So to my point, he doesn't really care about it, which, it's fine. If that's the ground he wants to stand on, that's completely fine. But definitely will be something I won't forget. And if I don't hear from him by the weekend, I'll probably confront him and we'll figure it out. Still later in the interview, Stenhouse shared that a number of other drivers had contacted him and encouraged him to do something about Hocevar. He said there was a lot of people that have reached out that race in our series that say, man, I really hope you do something about it. That's kind of funny. I'm not going to name names, but there's a list. When Chris Golan noted that Hocevar is unlikely to change the way he drives until someone retaliates against him, Stenhouse responded, totally agree. I think you hit the nail on the head right there. If nobody's going to do anything, why would you change? When Golan was kind of making that commentary, he also kind of compared Hocevar to Ross Chastain, but Stenhouse kind of disputed that a little bit. He says the Ross piece is a lot different. I mean, we were running 17th in stage 2, obviously referring to him and Hocevar at Nashville. The things that Ross was doing was he was battling for wins. That's important stuff to me. Wins are big in this series. So when you are battling for wins, things are a little bit different. You can be a little bit more aggressive, like you're going for the win. Passing me for 17th in the beginning of stage 2 has nothing to do with trying to win the race. But he did add, I do agree that if nothing is done about it or definitely confronted, nothing will change for sure. So that is what Ricky Stenhouse had to say. He also, I didn't include it in the article, but if you watch the podcast here, he also indicated that you basically cannot signal what you are going to do, as he did during the All-Star race with Kyle Busch, and then you cannot fess up to it, as Denny Hamlin did when he doored Ross Chastain, I think it was at Phoenix. So you don't let NASCAR know what you have planned, and you clearly don't admit what you've done after the fact. And Stenhouse is very well aware of that. So it's unlikely that when he does retaliate, he's clearly not going to let NASCAR know that was his intention, and he's not going to admit to it when it has happened. So, but he obviously is saying that he's not going to forget what Hocevar has done. If as he said here, if I don't hear from him by the weekend, I'll probably confront him and we'll figure it out. So if he doesn't have a chat with Hocevar, he's clearly going to remember what Hocevar did, and there might be payback somewhere down the line. And we'll see if that does indeed happen. But let me know what you guys make of what Ricky Stenhouse had to say here about the joke about giving some fisticuffs to Hocevar? Let me know in the comments below.